I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this. I didn't even know what he was celebrating, and then I was like, oh, he's just shit talking the Cubs. I get it now.
Yeah.
Shout out the man, Craig.
Yeah, shout out the Snakes. That's what Trevor was celebrating there. A Snakes win, and over, I suppose, is the team he hates in the Chicago Cubs. I guess if you're a Brewers fan, who is like a Brewers fan? Who's your most hated team? Is it the Cubs?
Cubs, yeah.
Is that like a rivalry, Brewers and Cubs?
Oh yeah, rivalry. They try to come up here and take over Miller Park. Never works. I think they did one time when they had the World Series team, but other than that,
never works.
Just a sad effort.
Just never works. They can't do it.
I do got to get to Wrigley though. That's it's a bucket list.
Oh, you want to take over Wrigley?
How far of a drive is that? Or
about 3.5 hours or so, roughly, give or take.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay,
it's not terrible.
So yeah, as far as tonight, so all three of my NBA bets got good CLV. I went 0-3. I suppose I should mention that they all lost. Yeah, it's part of it. You take the bad with the good, but yeah, I went 0-3 in the NBA, and honestly, none of the three were even really close. You know what? No, that's not fair. Portland was close for most of the game. The Knicks pulled away at the end to cover, but my Portland bet was somewhat close. Should have bet the Clippers. That would have covered. MLB, I went 1-1, but the Snakes was my bigger bet, so I made a few dollars there. I suppose there's some silver lining. Made a few dollars in Major League Baseball, but NBA smoked tonight.
Would you like to apologize to Jacob deGrom now, or would you like to refrain and just wait a couple more starts to apologize to the GOAT?
Well, I mean, if the fact that you think you're getting a couple more starts like that means you don't really know Jacob deGrom.
Oh, I know Jacob deGrom, and I watched him throw 96 tonight without any effort, striking out all those dirty waters, purifying that water into clean water for 5 scoreless. So I think he's going to be just fine.
I like this guy, Steve Mason. This is my kind of guy in the comments. He says, results are irrelevant, Kyle. That's my CLV king right there. Who cares if the bets win? That's not the important part. Nope. No, I mean, in theory, if you're beating the closing line, you will win long term. It's when you're getting the CLV and not winning, it's tough. It's a tough ask. But yeah, that's what. But
also, one other thing, just because it is a baseball show, Dodger fans, I hear you. It just sounds like you're children at this point, because there's no reason to put down the Padres. They're just undefeated. That's just what they do. They win baseball games. So until you don't have to worry about it, you guys are still a very good baseball team. You still got billions and billions of dollars. You're going to be all right. Don't worry about the lonely San Diego Padres. Don't worry about that.
Am I following this correctly? At 3 games into the season, you're deciding to stand on the soapbox with the Padres.
They're 4.
I'm already. After what I saw from Randy last night and Nick tonight, I'm already all in. I am all in. I mean, and maybe they are, but knowing that we broke the Atlanta Braves or helped everybody find that out, just another notch in my cap. So yeah, I'm all in right now. I feel very good. Fernando Tatis, like I keep telling you
guys,
the
Dodgers are about to break the Braves too.
We're gonna find out.
So yeah, let's get into it. We don't want to be live till 2 a.m. Oh, real quick, I just want to say, I asked several people today. Everybody has heard of the gift horse phrase besides you two. So everyone knows that.
We're the weird ones.
Yep, exactly. That was my point.
Whatever.
I'll use it for
and that guy in the comments was correct. Is you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, because you don't look at its teeth, and we don't have to get into it again. But
thank you for clarifying that.
The point is, I was right. That's the point. And also, I was right on the game. The Yankees won. So, all right. Anyway,
Yeah, when they're cheating with those freaking bats, yeah. Nothing
Oh
to
my
see
God.
here. We just hit 28
The
home runs
Yankees are
in
so
3 games.
polarizing that
Nothing
like you guys will latch on to any. I don't even like the
I
Yankees.
haven't said that at all. People
Yeah,
have
but
been
you're
using
thinking
these
it, I
bats.
can
They
tell.
used these bats last year too. Just nobody talked about
Yeah, exactly.
No, they didn't.
It
Yes,
just
they did.
Yes, they did. It didn't get the retweets last year. That's why now it's getting the retweets.
They
So
didn't
now it's a story.
destroy the Milwaukee Brewers and put them in body bags for 3 days.
And I want to be clear. I don't even like the Yankees. That's
Neither do I.
ridiculous. They're not breaking any rules. Other teams have done this. Like it's just that's how sports narratives work. They just get
Now-
enough retweets and
Any team that has those bats, just bet the over because they're obviously
Oh
corked
my
or something
God.
because they're just freaking nuking balls.
Atlanta just ordered some. I've heard that. So
Yep. They're,
hopefully
okay,
that
so
helps them.
whenever they get them in, we bet them that game.
all right. Toast. Are you seeing who's starting for the Twins tomorrow? Are you seeing this?
Am I seeing this?
It's
I've been
the
waiting for this
padlock.
moment. There's not a chance in hell I lay this number with him, though. This is ridiculous. I mean, I'm used to getting the padlock at a big, nice plus price, like versus teams like the Dodgers. But, yeah, it's the Twins for me. There's no chance in hell I lay this number. I know that they're on the road, so you could lay -1.5 and probably feel pretty comfortable with it. So you can put that up for me. But again, I'm just priced out. I haven't seen it very much from the Twins so far. And does Martin Perez, a guy that really scares me? No, not really. But at the same time, I just have to see it to believe it from the Twins. Do they have a whole bunch of guys that can hit left-handed pitching like Buxton and Correa and Jeffers? Yeah, but at the same time, the rest of the lineup is really, really bad. And if one of those three guys isn't hitting the ball well, everything else is going to look really bad. And to be honest, Martin Perez really didn't look terrible in 2024. Given all these given circumstances, especially his last 7 starts, he had a bad start on the road against Tampa Bay and Arizona, but a lot of it was 4 to 5 innings of 1-run baseball. He really wasn't that bad. And he pitched against this Twins team last year and went essentially 5 innings and gave up 3 runs. So again, I do think that the Twins have a huge advantage, but this price is ridiculous.
I agree with AM in the comments. Said the total's too high. I agree. I'm not even the big Martin Perez guy, but he throws with his left hand, and I feel like the Twins have been really bad against lefties for multiple years now. They're not hitting shit. The Cardinals just smacked Minnesota around. I don't see why this is 8.5. I agree with AM in the comments. Under is probably the move here. Trev?
Yeah, the wind is blowing out 12 mile an hour to right field, but
It would need to be hurricane winds to help the White Sox lineup.
That's what I'm saying is like regardless, like in this one, if I had to pick a side, I would do White Sox in the under, but I like Paddock's strikeouts. You're getting 6 of them at plus 125 on DraftKings here, and then 26 AB sample size versus Padlock for the White Sox here, and that's a 34.6% strikeout rate they have. Twins offense is just broken, right? Or White Sox offense, other than opening day, their offense is broken. These are just typical White Sox. I guess that's nothing new, par for the course. So I like Paddock's over 5.5 strikeouts at plus 125 tomorrow. White Sox over the under. I don't think you can really go wrong playing either of them.
Paddock over strikeouts. All right. Next up is, and by the way, the pick graphics don't have numbers in them. I'll fix that for tomorrow. It's because when a team's playing already, it loads their line from watch. Look, it's saying Kansas. This is Kansas City, Minnesota. What's this supposed to be? Royals, Brewers.
Brew Crew.
Damn it. All right, so let me fix it. It's because it's not built to have teams. It's pulling today's games. That's why.
Right, it's not pulling tomorrow's. Yeah.
So the Brewers are -116. I'll just type them onto the screen so everyone can see the proper lines. Trev, do you want to share your thoughts on the Brewers right now? People are saying worst team in baseball. People.
Oh, really?
I've heard that. I have heard that a couple times actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got cheated by a team that uses these
cheated.
corked up bats. And we didn't have them, but we still scored runs. Our offense still produced a little bit, minus game 1, where they, scored 2 runs and left the bases loaded to end the game against Devin Williams, which would have been absolute cinema had Devin Williams imploded versus Milwaukee.
Would have been, yeah.
Dude, I was praying for it. But yeah, I like the over here. I don't think our pitching's great. Elvin Rodriguez is going for the Brew Crew. Yeah, that's enough said. Our bullpen has not looked good. It's one of the worst in baseball right now. And granted, we did get cheated, but they still gave up a bunch of meatballs for the Yankees to slug out. And Kansas City's got some hitters. I know their offense wasn't as good on the road, but Bobby Witt, probably anything you want to take with Bobby Witt will hit. He's just going to murder us tomorrow. I like Kansas City and I like the over. I think it's just going to be Meatball City. And the like I said, Brewers offense can score, but I don't trust any of the relievers or even the starters at this point. So give me Kansas City in the over.
Fading his guys, Royals and over. Toast?
So generally that means you should probably bet the Brewers whenever a fan fades their team.
Schreiber, Harvey, Eckridge. I actually God damn it. This Rodriguez is so freaking bad. That's the issue here. I think there's a reason that the Brewers are kind of small favorites. I think getting out of Yankee. Keep in mind, it's not like the Brewers look. I mean, the Brewers are still scoring runs. I mean, just because they're giving up 50 doesn't mean they're not putting up 6 and 9. Themselves. You know what I mean? So I'm not. Personally, I'm not really worried about the Brewers lineup scoring runs. So I guess you can put up the Brewers for me. I also like the fact that you're getting the Royals bullpen with, Estevez went to it, or Estevez is going to be fine, but Eckridge is going to work 3 of the last 4. Also, not to mention Stratton, Schreiber, Harvey, all those guys work today. So their bullpen's not at 100%. And the Milwaukee bullpen has been terrible, but they also haven't used all their major arms either. So all those guys are rested and available. So later on in the game at home, I think Milwaukee has a little bit of advantage. So, Again, the number kind of tells me more than anything else that I lean Milwaukee. I don't know if I actually bet it though.
Brewers were pretty damn good against lefties last year at home, like top 10 in baseball via WRC plus. So I'm with them. I don't think runs are the issue. I think it's going to be giving up the runs also is the problem.
All right, next game, and you guys got to bear with me on these graphics.
You want to talk about a gift horse?
Yeah, let's talk gift horse.
Let's do it. Phillies over 4.5. This is my biggest. I'm putting a full unit on it. So over 4.5.
You just lost on that.
Yeah, they had 12 guys on base. Like they had guys that just couldn't bring them in.
Oh, 12 guys on base. No way.
Herman or Kez or whatever, however you say it. I'm going to report my friggin' notes here. Yeah, Phillies versus Marquez, 35 and 98, 8 doubles, a triple, 4 dingers, sub 20% strikeout rate, and 11 walks. They hit them. They get on base. They're not striking out. Not to mention winds blowing out to center field, 13 miles an hour plus. And they had 12 base runners and scored 1 today. Whenever a team gets like 10 plus base runners and scores like 2 or 3 runs or less, I love backing their team total the next game just to bounce back because that shit doesn't happen. That happened with the Rays today. They did that shit yesterday. I think they scored 2 runs. And I forgot to bet it. And they scored like 6 or 7 today too. So I love the Phillies to score runs tomorrow. Over 4.5 minus 130 or 135 I played. I got a full unit on it.
A full unit on the Phillies, team total over 4.5, which failed you today. I just want to reiterate that loss today.
They had 12 base runners.
They were in a bad sleepy spot with kind of like the B lineup. Yeah,
making excuses
for
Philadelphia.
The day for the Phillies. Tonight.
No Real Muto or Turner, and they still have guys. I was just about to say.
So they're not going to have Turner again tomorrow because they do have a day off on Tuesday. Let me double check that. If they have a day off Tuesday, you won't see Turner tomorrow. That's just how things work in Major League Baseball. Let me double check that. But yeah, they're off, so they should be good. So yeah, you're probably not going to see. Yeah, so you're still not going to see Trey Turner tomorrow. It doesn't matter for me. I have the same bet. I have 2 team totals I've already bet for a full unit. The Phillies and the Orioles are the other one. And it's funny that they're the next game. But not only does Marquez suck, you have the Phillies versus a right-handed pitcher, obviously, and all those numbers go up. I mean, everybody in this lineup from Bohm, Castellanos, Harper, who else is on there? Schwarber, Edmundo Sosa, and Trey Turner, who will be out, doesn't care. All 800 OPS or better. Actually, matter of fact, I think they're all 820 OPSs or better. And then guys at home, especially like Bryce Harper, as well. Their numbers absolutely skyrocket. Brandon Marsh's numbers absolutely skyrocket at home as well. So, and he's like a 790 on base percentage guy. And then the kicker is the weather tomorrow. That's kind of like the kicker. You're looking at like our friends over at Ballpark Pal have it a plus 37% as far as home runs coming tomorrow. You're looking at 70.
So why are we just getting over?
Because I don't think that what's his face? The Rockies are going to touch Christopher Sanchez at all. So, and I would rather just.
Man, Sanchez sucks.
Are you kidding me?
He fell off so hard at the end of last year.
He dominated like 85% of that year.
I think you should pull up the game logs and just take a quick
At
refresher.
the end of last year, yeah, I know. In the beginning of the season, he was untouchable. At the end of last year, he was falling off.
Last year, yeah. So, I mean, the Mets were really good, right? Those were 2 of his last 3 starts. How do you do it against those? 14
Oh my God,
innings.
he had a good start.
Okay, you said that the end of the year. I'm
He
just
had
telling
an
you.
ERA over
last
4.
7
He
start.
had an ERA over 4 in September. He had an ERA of 6.59 in August.
And what was the prior?
I mean, I am not denying that he was good in the beginning of the season. I'm just saying he's been at. You bet it. I mean, whatever.
I mean, I am betting it. It's the Phillies team total over. I'm just telling you that they shouldn't touch Christopher Sanchez. The Rockies shouldn't. So he's very, very good, and he was very, very good in Philadelphia, even better. I would go through it. If you went through his starts, I would imagine that almost all of his starts that looked bad and that contributed to that ERA was all on the road. So anyway, but yeah, Phillies team total over for sure.
Phillies could score 9 themselves and hit the over. No problem.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Put the Rockies up for you.
No, I put the over up. You were like, oh, Ballpark Pal has the humidity at 600% or whatever the hell you said. Runs.
Humidity
dude.
and pressure.
I was going to say, what's the
what I'm saying.
barometric pressure sitting at?
Double whammy.
Barometric pressure. Christopher Sanchez hasn't been good in a full calendar year. Some people, like, Toast is the type of person that falls in love with, like, these guys over and then, like, refuses to let it go. That this person could be bad for a year and I'll just never let it go.
Oh, my God. We're not going to get into this. I'm not dying on this hill right now.
All right, whatever. Boston versus Baltimore.
My sweet prince.
This is a real premier pitching matchup. Sean Newcomb against Cade Povich. Bolt. I don't know, actually. What do you guys think? I don't know. Over,
Baltimore
right?
team total. You could do over would be fine with me. I mean, Boston versus lefties. Not really so much for me. They only have really a couple guys that I would even consider decent. Most of them are actually pretty bad, but Baltimore team total over 4.5 for me, minus 135. Same type of situation. We have the same type of weather as we did in Philadelphia, 20% home run increase. You're looking at 14-mile-an-hour winds blowing out in 75-degree weather. Not to mention the fact we have Baltimore facing a left-handed pitcher who's absolutely terrible, and Baltimore has a shit ton of guys that can smash left-handed pitching and smash left-handed pitching at home, from Kierstad to Mateo to Mountcastle to O'Neill. Rutschman is really good on 900 OPS against them. Urias 837. I mean, Baltimore versus lefties has been a spot for a while now with these guys, and I think that they have a very, very good opportunity tomorrow at home with this great weather against a dog shit lefty. So Baltimore team total over 4.5 for me.
Weren't the Orioles really disappointing against lefties last year though, or is my memory?
At times, yes,
they were, right? They were like
this,
like they very disappointing, right?
Yes,
but they were also like one of the best teams at like certain points too. Like it was they were a schizophrenic team last year.
I was gonna say yes, they were extremely streaky. Yes.
What do you think, Trevor?
Yeah, I had the same thing. I had Baltimore over 4.5, and I also had Povich over 4.5 Ks. Red Sox, I know they added some pieces this year, but last year, 28th versus lefties via WRC plus, 23rd in on-base percentage, 24th in hard hit percentage, and then they had a 31.8% strikeout rate versus lefties. And Povich, 9 of 38 versus lineup, 8 strikeouts. So, I mean, potentially, maybe they don't get there. Short outing, uses some pitches and doesn't make it all the way through, 5 innings or so. But I want to see this Boston lineup show me that they've actually improved from last year against lefties. They were horrendous. Rafael Devers is absolutely broken also. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's he's broken as hell. Maybe that third base switch really affected him because he does not look good. So yeah, same thing. Weather, everything. Baltimore over 4.5 or Povich strikeouts, but I like the team total more. I did bet that.
All right.
That's sauce for he wants to bet Boston, but we know
I
when
do. It seems whatever.
Dude, Dick Fitz was.
I can't argue
scoring
yet.
a gem until the 6th.
I need 2.5 more weeks of the NBA regular season ends. Then I'm going to update my MLB model, start beating these closing lines, and then I will tell you guys how wrong Toast is. I don't have grounds to stand on at the moment. 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
Mark your calendar.
Yeah, I'm throwing darts in the dark, so I have no ground to stand on to argue MLB. Obviously, these odds on the screen are not right. Texas and Cincinnati are both not plus 105. That'd be a hell of an arbitrage opportunity.
Cincinnati is, though. So Texas minus
Oh,
115.
It's like Texas minus 125 then? Okay.
Yeah, give or take.
All right, I'll put that up. Makes it a little easier. Toast, how does Texas fare in Great American here? I feel like it's way too early in the season for this interleague play. They're way too extra with this shit now.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I just want to double check the usage of this Rangers bullpen today because I'm pretty sure Armstrong, Garcia, Martin, Jackson. Armstrong, check. Martinez, Jackson. Yeah, they're fucked. Just this Texas bullpen is absolutely destroyed after this Baltimore series, after this Boston series. They're all working off 3 of the last 4, 2 of the last 3. It's really, really bad. And the only reason that I mentioned that is because Kumar Rocker, who is a very, very good talent out of Vanderbilt, really excited to watch him pitch. He looked really good his only 3 starts last year, but the issue is he only went forward 2/3. So maybe as he built up a little bit more, yes, but it's really hard to trust that, especially pitching in a place like Great America Ballpark where I don't think that the weather is anything crazy tomorrow, but it's definitely still Great America weather where it's decent, where it's not.
Wait,
cold
I'm sorry.
or
Who'd you take? No, never mind. Keep going. I thought I missed the pick. Go on.
No, you're good. It's just I don't. I have to see the Reds do something. I guess that's it. I know that Robbie Ray was decent and whatnot. I just they haven't done anything to show me that they can to make me bet them. I guess that's the issue. So I don't know. You can put Texas up for me. That bullpen scares me. I guess you could say Texas first 5. I have to see what Brady Singer does in Great America Ballpark before I worry about him. And then not mention the fact that the Reds bats are just absolutely doing nothing right now. So I will say Singer did have 2 starts against Texas last year, 11 innings, 1 at home, 1 on the road, was fantastic in both of them. But again, the Reds bats just look absolutely dead right now.
Except for Matt McClain.
Texas first 5 money line or pass. Trev, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of liked the over here. Kumar Rocker in spring training. I know it's spring training, but he didn't look good. He had 5 games. He pitched an inning versus the Brewers. He gave up 4. An inning versus the Brewers, inning versus Brewers. Inning versus Royals, 4 earned. Padres 3 earned. Colorado 2 earned. And then he had a nice outing against Kansas City the second time. 4 innings, 3 hits, no earns. He didn't look that great. Now you're going to head to Small Park with the wind blowing out. Brady Singer, he did pitch here last year. He went 6 innings, shutout baseball. But Texas bats looked not great today.
That's what I'm saying. Toast is like, oh, Cincinnati's lineup looks dead. What the fuck is Texas done offensively?
Yeah, I want to see Brady Singer do it again. We know how not good he was away from Kansas City last year, and now he's in Small Park, one of the worst places for a guy who struggles on the road. I mean, no, this is his home now, but he pitched here one time. He had a good game. I want to see him do it again. Texas, I think they can get to Singer. They're 14-60, 3 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. They did strike out 27% of the time, so that was the issue last year, but I still think with this bullpen on both sides being rough, they'll be able to score some runs on both of these. So I like the over here. Not sure if I'll bet it though.
Also, the Rangers face Crochet, Houck, and Walker Buehler. I mean, come on. And they won 2 of those games.
Dude, this is like it's Texas Rangers syndrome. People want to like this team, so they just continually.
What do I have any reason to like the
I don't
Texas
know, but
Rangers?
I can tell you were like I could tell in the off-season show you like this team, so
Yes.
you want to make excuses for them.
No.
Let's go to the next
Nope.
game.
I think you're bitter because you lost your Boston bet today, and I won my Jacob DeGrom bet. And as
Dude,
a Mets
Fitz was
fan,
pulling a
We
gem.
deserved it.
and as a Mets
Yeah.
fan, it just hurts a little bit more. Speaking of the Mets,
Yeah, let's talk Metropolitans. Mets travel down. Our Mets are taking their talents down to South Beach. Peterson should throw 7 shutout here.
no, man.
Oh my god, dude!
The reason the Marlins only won is because the Pittsburgh bullpen is atrocious and imploded in all 3 games. Absolutely hilarious. By
We
the way.
know the Mets lineup is a streaky one, and we know there's going to be times where they can't hit. We know there's going to be times where they're the hottest baseball in Major League Baseball. They're like that. The Red Sox are like that. There are certain lineups that are just. It describes a lot of lineups in Major League Baseball, but certain that have extreme highs and lows. The Mets fit that description. Even if you're like, okay, the Mets lineup is in a low to start the season, which is possible. They started 0-5 last year, so let's not act like this is something crazy if the Mets were to start off losing a few games. Even if you think the Mets lineup is in a low, how can you make a case for the Marlins getting to Peterson here? Peterson is developing. He seems to be getting better every single year. I actually think Peterson's in a good spot to have a great season this year. It's the Marlins against a lefty. This is the worst team in Major League Baseball. So even if you're not all on board with the Mets, maybe take an under or Marlins team total under, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, in theory, I'm not arguing against that. I guess I think that Cal Quantrill is kind of a little bit disrespected in ways. I think that yes, he hasn't been as sharp as he was in 2022 the last couple of years, but he also pitched in, in Colorado in one of those. And he really wasn't terrible to end of the year last year. I just feel like this is a really big price. Is Peterson really, really good? Yes. There's no argument with me. I 100% agree with you. He's turning into a very, very good talent. There is no argument. There's no arguments from me about that. I just don't know if I want to lay this huge number with the Mets against a somewhat decent veteran starter with a Miami team that's, regardless of who they beat, that's probably feeling themselves, regardless if it's been walk-offs or not. They're definitely feeling themselves more than they would be if they were sitting at 1-3 or whatever it would be. So, again, you can put the Mets up for me. There's not a chance in hell I bet this game, though. If I'm being 100% honest, I really want to take Miami in the first 5, just because it's going to be the Mets' first time traveling, back-to-back back-to-back trips going to Houston and now going.
They were the
Miami.
best road. They were the best road lineup in baseball last season, Toast.
Yep. So that means it has to happen again, right? So that's just baseball. So you can only put the Mets up for me.
Trev, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Mets 1.5. I think Peterson absolutely shoves this Miami team. Really, well, obviously they won the games. They benefited from that Pittsburgh bullpen just imploding every game. Absolutely hysterical to see them lose all those games on walk-offs. To the
Especially
Marlins.
today.
Oh, just beautiful. As an NL Central Brewer fan, I'd love to see it.
That's
Not that I'm
cool.
afraid of the Pirates or anything. Yeah, sure, go Marlins, whatever. Quantrill, he actually had a worse ERA away from Colorado last year than he did at home. Like it wasn't much. It was like an extra 15.15 worse on the road. But he career sub 18% strikeout rate. Peterson away from Citi Field last year had a 2.60 ERA with a 3.74 FIP. So it's not like it was that bad. Obviously the ERA was good. He had a really good defense behind him. Now you're just going to add Soto into that mix too. I think the Mets absolutely messed them up. And I know only 49 plate appearances for the Marlins this year, but 86 WRC plus this year, and last year they were 29th in it against lefties with a 75. And the Mets bullpen, I have faith won't implode like Pittsburgh's did this entire series.
Mets bullpen is pretty solid.
It can't be worse than Pittsburgh. So I like the Mets 1.5. I think they put up runs and they get this done here. I think it's gonna be like a 6-2 game, something like that.
Cool. Obviously, as you would expect, over 70% of the poll on the Mets. it's the Mets against the Marlins. I don't think there's any circumstance where the Marlins would be a public dog.
Fair.
Pirates on the road in Tampa. Looks like the Rays are pretty heavy favorites here with Rasmussen on the mound. How's Rasmussen doing? I mean, I know his health is always a concern. Did he have a good spring, Toast?
I honestly don't know how he did in spring, to be dead honest with you. But I just don't know how you can lay this juice with the Rays. I mean, they didn't even really hit against Colorado. I mean, again, not that Pittsburgh is anything better than Colorado, but they're pretty much the same. I mean, it was you could put up Pittsburgh for me. I mean, I think that Pittsburgh is a little bit better than Colorado. I mean, the chances I bet this is small. I mean, Malinsky's not somebody that I'm trying to back either, but at the same time, this price is absolutely ridiculous. So, again, I don't know what the price would be if Pittsburgh would have won 3 of their 4 in Miami. But obviously they lost 3 out of 4. So, but this is just way too much juice for me. So I don't know what you're going to get out of Rasmussen. He hasn't pitched since essentially 2023. And even in 2023, he only pitched 44 innings. So in the past, 2.5 years, he's less than 70 innings. So just really hard to trust that, especially at that juice.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem, and this is kind of maybe just speculating a little bit, it does seem like the early season tax you were kind of getting with this Pirates team. I feel like there was a lot of hype surrounding the team, and in that Marlins series, we talked about it. I felt like they might have been a bit overpriced in a few of those spots. Seems like the market kind of bailed on the Pirates pretty quick here. I mean, all of a sudden, we're pricing them like they're one of the worst teams in the NL again. It's the Rays. What are we doing? What are the Rays? A 500 baseball team, maybe? We're laying minus 185 with Rasmussen, who, like, I don't even know. I guess he has a bit of a high ceiling, but it's not like there's a bona fide starting pitcher on the mound. I agree.
Yeah, he was really good in 2022. So take that for what it is.
I think he might have a high ceiling, and I think if you're a Rays fan, you have high hopes for him, but I don't know how you price him here. I feel like the Pirates went the quickest turn from overpriced to underpriced in the market. Plus 152 against the Rays? I thought the Pirates were flirting with the idea of winning the high 70s this year. Like, what are we doing?
I also like the fact that they barely have to travel. This is like a short travel. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of reasons that you could really like Pittsburgh, to be honest with you.
You said you weren't going to bet? I might be down to bet.
I was actually, you know what? The more I think about it, I'm like, I'm going to be pissed off if I don't do it. So I might as well just add it to the list.
Let's get through the rest of the slate. I might be down.
I don't see how. Yeah.
Trevor, you with us?
Sure, I'll root for your money line. Give me the over. Like Toast said, Rasmussen's been injured and now he's coming back, and laying 185 is crazy. Pittsburgh was putting up runs at least during the series, minus today, but they're scoring some runs. Not to mention their bullpen's absolutely just cooked. You had Holderman and Holderman go back to back. Bednar pitched today. Ferguson went again today, and Lawrence. So, 2 of those guys back-to-back days, not to mention they're getting up there with the amount of pitches they've thrown in that series. So I don't think they're going to be available tomorrow, at least Holderman for sure. So I think we're going to see runs here. It's going to be 80 degrees, winds blowing out like 7 miles an hour. It's not a lot, but it still is. It's a shorter park. I think we see some runs here, and then, I pray we see Bednar just pop back in at some point late too, just to give up some runs. But yeah, I think this is going to be a run city tomorrow.
There are some people in the comments that seem to be taking the Pirates with us, but there's also some people that seem to like Tampa. I mean, Sybert's in the comments. He said there's a reason the Rays are priced at minus 185, maybe. Steve Mason says he likes Rasmussen this year. I'm not saying Rasmussen's going to be bad. I'm just saying first start, it's a little early to be pricing him at minus 185.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting Fairbanks 2 of the last 3. Yeah. I like that over. I don't hate that over either, Trevor.
What's the run index in the Trop these days?
It's not the Trop. It's Steinbrenner Field.
They're playing at the Yankees.
They're playing at the Yankees AAA field. It's the same.
Oh yeah, because of the hurricane. Yeah. Right.
But it's good. It's 26% 26% increase in home runs, 75 degrees with 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing out towards the outfield, all areas.
So we got Michael Soroka starting for the Nats here. That's a lot. I've watched a few things in the off season. Some people are pretty big on Bowden Francis this season. Toast, are you one of those people?
I think that he's kind of one of these low hanging fruit names. Yeah, he was really good at the end of the season last year. His last 7 starts, he was almost untouchable. But at the same time, he was facing teams like the Cubs, the Angels, the Red Sox, the Rangers, the Red Sox again. I mean, I know that those teams sound good, but at the end of last season, those teams were not really playing good baseball. So I do think that he was tearing apart kind of mediocre lineups, not to make a case that this Washington lineup's better than mediocre, but I guess it's just one of those situations where I think this price is a little bit too much. We just saw a Washington team that I feel like they played really well against Philadelphia. Did their bullpen let them down? Yes. Is Philadelphia also an extremely good lineup? Yes. Up and down. A lot better than Toronto's. I'm probably going to be on Washington here tomorrow. Again, I understand that their bullpen's been really bad, but I don't think that Toronto and their bullpen, even with Bowden Francis, who again has been talked about so much, I think there's already a little bit of a tax built in there. And Michael Soroka, he's very, very average, but I think a lot of people look at what he did last year and how he didn't have a win, and he was like 0-10 last year, and he's going to be terrible. I think that as long as he pitches mediocre, they stay in this baseball game. So I actually don't mind this Nats lineup, and especially what I've seen from them with Abrams, Wood, and Garcia at the top. And then obviously like Nathaniel Lowe hit a home run today. I mean, Dylan Cruz at the bottom, depending on where they put him in the lineup that day. So there's a lot of things for me that I like with Washington. I actually think that Washington and Toronto are extremely even. So you can put up Washington for me. Probably a really good chance that I bet this as well.
I don't like this one as much. I'm down with the Pirates, but I don't like this one as much. I actually think Bowden Francis.
Down with Pirates.
I actually think Bowden Francis might deal here. Trev?
Yeah, I'm with you, but I don't know. I don't want to lay 170 with Bowden Francis. I know Washington can Washington can score too. This is another one. I kind of like the over. Both pens are atrocious. Washington's in with a 690 xFIP this year. Toronto right behind them with a 494. Granted, their FIPs are higher right now. They're going to positively regress, but there's still not much to regress towards to. I still think they're terrible. We've seen Toronto's bats can score. Same with Washington here. I think we see some runs here tomorrow. So I like the over, but I really don't want to touch this because I could see Bowden Francis just absolutely shutting them down, but I could also see him, giving up, 2 runs or something, and then that bullpen comes in and just implodes again, just like they have been doing. So I want no part of this game.
Hey, I'm putting Toronto up because I feel like
I was in effect. Can you do a little thing under mine and put Washington team total over 3.5 minus 115 as well? That's probably the bet I end up making. Now just double checking at that Toronto bullpen. You're going to have guys like Hoffman, who's their best arm. He's going to be working off back-to-back nights. Garcia's worked 2 of the last 3 nights. Did Chad Green go today? No, but he's still 2 of the last 3. Garcia's going to be 2 of the last. Yeah, so they're definitely a little bit taxed in that bullpen. Washington team total over 3.5. I like a lot more.
So the Blue Jays bullpen is taxed?
Just a little bit, nothing crazy, but their top guys have definitely worked a lot the last few days.
Give me like a 2-0 early Toronto lead, and then give me Washington plus 2.5 live.
Okay. Yep. I'm with you on that. 100%. We're getting this party started this early in the year. I'm down.
Maybe you take Toronto first 5 on the run line or something if you want to back Toronto. And just not even bother with that bullpen.
I didn't track it, but I feel like I was very good with MLB live bets. But that's the thing with live bets is perception is always a little off. The comparison I always make with live bets, because everyone's like, oh, no, I'm way better with live bets. Everyone says that. And the reason is, they're not tracked as much. Like I could tell you what my last 20 bets were as far as before the game. I couldn't tell you what my last 20 live bets were. It's the comparison I always use is it's like golfing by yourself. You don't remember when you kind of gave yourself a stroke here, gave yourself a gimme. You legitimately don't remember. And you go to my friends, like when they golf by themselves, they'll be like, yeah, I shoot mid-80s. And then I shoot mid-90s. I'll play with them and beat them. So it's like when you golf by yourself, the score is not, you don't recollect it 100% accurately. But it feels like I was very good betting MLB lives.
Well, I think that you also really remember your wins too, because it's usually like especially like with us, it's like usually with a group of people. So it's like fun to remember that. And especially like Cal. Like we'll always remember Cal basketball for Scoop's comeback type of stuff. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I agree. The live bets, the wins are awesome. Let's talk Tyler Anderson. Another year, another Tyler Anderson start. He's back. Tyler Anderson was shockingly good for a lot of last year, defied physics for most of the season. Dead ass. He was one of the best lefties in the league.
He was.
For
He fell off, but he definitely was.
For like 70% of the season, he was one of the best lefties in the league. Like, it was crazy. Does that have any chance of replicating here?
I don't think so. I don't. He really didn't look good to end the year. That's first and foremost. And second of all, he's facing a St. Louis team that's playing extremely good baseball right now.
How? This team sucks. The Cardinals starting well is probably the most frustrating thing. I don't like this Cardinals team. I'm out on them. Trevor was picking them and winning, which kind of pisses me off.
I'm not big on this Cardinals team either, but you can't deny the fact that they beat up on this Minnesota team. They're playing very well, and they're staying at home. The Angels are going to have to travel. And on top of that, St. Louis has multiple guys that can hit left-handed pitching. Baker, Contreras, Nootbaar, Austin Wynn, all these guys with 800 OPSs are better. So I actually trust them as far as left-handed pitching is concerned. Not to mention that there's a whole bunch of guys like Brendan Donovan and stuff that gets a huge bump at home when they're playing at home. So, yeah, it would only be Cardinals for me. I haven't taken a look at their bullpen.
I think that's the wrong side.
That's the only thing that I haven't looked at. But again, I don't know if I actually bet it, but would it only be Cardinals for me? Let's just pull up you can go, Trevor. I think their bullpen's good to go, though.
Yeah, I bet the Cardinals already. I don't know where it's at now.
Of course you did.
Well, dude, why are we not betting?
Why are we going to kick a gift horse in the mouth?
Exactly. You want to talk about gift horse? Staring right at. Don't stare at its teeth, but it's right here. Give me Cardinals money line. I bet it minus 136 earlier. It's minus 142 now. They're playing really good ball. I know Tyler Anderson was better on the road last year, but maybe he goes 5 shutout against St. Louis. Who's scoring for the Angels? Nobody.
It's Michaelis, bro. Anybody is the answer.
I don't care. The Angels are terrible. The Cardinals are at least scoring runs and hitting the ball, and they look pretty damn good right now. So I'm not gonna back away from this. Had they traveled or something, that'd be different. But they're staying home. They're feeling good, playing good, scoring runs, hitting dingers. I like St. Louis here. I bet the money line already.
Yes, I will beat. I'm literally betting St. Louis right now. Not to mention the fact that not only was Anaheim in a rain delay today, you're going to have Jansen, Joyce, and Burke. Give it to me. Yes, Jansen, Joyce, Burke, and maybe even Zeflin on back-to-back days. Okay, maybe not back-to-back days, not for Zeflin. But regardless, their bullpen's their bullpen's taxed. They might not have their 2 best arms. Almost matter of fact, I guarantee you they're probably not going to throw Ben Joyce 3 days in a row. So, I will be betting St. Louis.
This is a sharp spot to play the Angels. I'm doing it. And it's not just me. I mean, we're polling heavy on the Cardinals, but it's not just me. Look at the comments. There's a lot of sharps out here taking the Angels with me. Just going to read a few off. Sheed says Angels dead. All right, cool, Sheed. Bet the Cardinals then. No, there's some. Jimmy Harvest says Angels trash. There are some in here.
Someone.
Oh, by the way, Toast. Comment before from Leg Show Magazine. I don't know who this is, by the way. I mean, I recognize the name.
Leg Show's a good guy. I see him around.
No, yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, like, I haven't
him around.
No, he's always in the comments. But
I thought you meant like him personally.
No. I'm saying I don't know him personally, but he said before. Devers will be a Met by trade deadline. You heard it here first. And that's not somebody I know. The reason I'm bringing that up is because I've been telling Toast Devers is going to be a Met for 2 seasons now. So if that happens, Toast is going to have to give you the hardest I was wrong, you were right of his life.
It's never going to happen. So
that's like I pick the Packers to win the Super Bowl every year. Eventually I'll get it right.
Yeah. What? That's not the same.
Yeah, basically it is. Every year, Devers is a Met this year.
You pick your favorite team to win the Super Bowl, bro. That's not shocking.
You don't pick your favorite team?
No.
The Cowboys. No.
Oh, you're a Cowboys fan? Oh.
Not until we get out of Dak Prescott prison, $75 million a year against the cap. Not until we get out of Dak Prescott prison. When we get out of Dak prison, I'll consider supporting the Cowboys again.
That playoff game was one of my favorites. That was all time. Lambeau Field South.
I had the Packers plus 10 and the Packers money line to that.
Same. Same.
Go check the tape. Giants. Jordan Hicks. Toast likes Jordan Hicks.
No, I do.
But it's tough to not like Blanco either. Blanco coming off a great season. They have high hopes for him this year. Giants, as we know, not the most dangerous lineup against right-handed pitching. In fact, last 2 years, big chunks of the season, this is the worst lineup in baseball against righties. I'm not saying they're going to be this year. I'm saying over the last 2 years, there are large chunks of the season where the Giants cannot touch right-handed pitching. I think the table's set for Blanco to pitch well, but I also think that everyone in the world has that same contention. Toast?
Yeah, Trevor, or you can. I'm just checking the bullpens really quickly. I am not a fan of Jordan Hicks. I think he's absolutely terrible.
Really?
And he belongs in the bullpen. He was absolutely terrible as a starter. There was a reason he was kicked to the bullpen. They're going to give him another chance now. They said they've messed with his pitch mix or something of that nature. It sounds like a whole bunch of made up BS to me. The point that you made to begin the soliloquy that you just went on about the Giants and not hitting right-handed pitching was really all you needed to say. This team still can't hit right-handed pitching. They brought in Willie Adames. That doesn't change the lineup, but he's the only person in this lineup that can even remotely hit right-handed pitching. I guess if you want to lean on Matt Chapman, go ahead. I know he hit a home run in the last couple of days, but really nothing special for me as far as San Francisco goes. And as far as Blanco is concerned, until he shows me that he can't pitch, I continue to trust him. I mean, he looked fantastic all of last year. I know he kind of came out of nowhere, but he actually really wasn't terrible in 2023 either. And again, his last 7 starts last year at home or on the road, regardless of who he was pitching against, he was pitching really, really good. And he faced this Giants team last year in San Francisco, went 6 innings, only gave up 3 hits and a run, struck out 8. I just feel like this number is a little bit too cheap on the Astros. I'm just double checking to make sure I'm not losing anything as far as the Astros bullpen is concerned, because I know that they've used Hader and Abreu the last few days, but it would only be Astros, most likely Astros first 5 for me. I think their bullpen's a little bit taxed, but I'm checking right now.
I agree with with everything you said. I'm a little worried that the whole world's betting Houston here. Which, whatever, maybe that's not a reason to get scared off a side, but I'm a little worried about that. Also, you guys expressed concerns for the Astros all offseason. Now you're not even going to mention them. I'm going under 8 here.
I said it one time.
No, Thorough, you said it ad nauseum.
Dude, we do multiple shows. That's why I have to say it over one time.
Yeah, and I've heard it several times that you shit on this Astros team until it comes to the time where you want to bet them, and then none of those concerns exist anymore.
No, I mean, if the New York Mets are the New York Mets that you talk about, they did just fine. I mean, the New York Mets couldn't even put up runs on the board, so I guess that outfield is just fine.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Okay, well, I was wrong. There's nothing to worry about now, so now we can bet Houston and not worry about it. Let's go.
Under. Trevor.
Yeah, if I had to pick a side, I would go Houston. But San Fran traveling from Cincy today to Houston. Houston gets to stay home. Blanco I really like. He's got really good numbers. Jordan Hicks does scare me a little bit, but the Astros have scored 6 total runs in 3 games. I know the Mets bullpen is better, but they still have only scored 6. I'm with you. I like the under. I would bet the under over a side.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's the play. But I like it. I'm not that I disagree.
This is gonna be like 3-2 at most, like 3-1.
And if we're being honest, the Astros isn't some team that's absolutely obliterated right-handed pitching either. I mean, really, it's only Yordan Alvarez. Everybody else, as far like even like guys like they brought in like Paredes, is much better versus left-handed pitching than he is right-handed pitching. So, yeah, I don't hate the under either.
All right, everyone leaning Houston. Everyone leaning under. Next. Detroit, Seattle, Emerson, Mr. Hancock, and the moment we've been waiting for. Now, for those of you that don't follow MLB offseason, I don't really either. I happen to know this one guy is supposed to be the second coming of Nolan Ryan, and his name's
Jackson Jobe.
His name's Jackson Jobe. He was a keeper on my deep fantasy baseball league. This guy's the future of my. I've read multiple articles.
Now
on
I know because she's on your fantasy team. I was like, good for you, dude. Like,
no, what happened is at the end of last year, I was riddled with injuries. I traded all my assets for draft picks. So I entered a rebuild about 2/3 through last year. So right before free agency closed at the end of the year, I did about 2 hours worth of reading. I needed to find who are prospects. I'm going to drop players and pick up prospects to keep next year. I went into future mode, and Jackson Jobe was one of the guys I picked up with the sole intention of keeping him in the 23rd round for the next 4 years. So I'm building. He's a cornerstone of my franchise.
good to have.
Yeah, this guy, and I'm kind of doing a bit here, but all jokes aside, very highly touted starting pitching prospect here. If Jackson Jobe pitches the way he's hyped, you're not going to get him plus 101 much longer.
Bingo.
Right? He's going to be like what's the guy that just went to Boston? Like a Garrett Crochet or a Paul Skeens or one of those guys where it's like by midway through the season, he's minus 140 at least every time.
He could be like the next Cole Reagans, the guy that's kind of been like that nobody kind of knew. But yes, and you said that you were doing a bit. Nothing that you said was even exaggerated. I mean, everything was spot on. He is supposed to be one of the best pitching prospects we've seen in a while. Between him, Skubal, and Casey Mize, that's what's supposed to set up Detroit for the coming future. I know that Casey Mize hasn't really shown up, but this is a Casey Mize. I was going to say, this is a Casey Mize program. We support him, and we only wish him health.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I will be on Detroit here. I think that you nailed it on the head as far as we're not going to be getting Jackson Jobe at this price very often. I am a big Emerson Hancock guy. I think he's extremely good. I think the only reason that he's the fifth starter or goes in between AAA and the Major League is because of how good Seattle's rotation is. Emerson Hancock's probably a 3 or 4 on most rotations in Major League Baseball. So you can put up under, but you can more or less put up Detroit for me. I thought Detroit played extremely well against the Dodgers. Obviously, the Dodgers being the Dodgers just kind of got ahead of them, but losing 4-5, losing 5-8 in extras when Mookie hits a 3-run blast. And then even Saturday's game really wasn't as bad as it looked. So I think Detroit's playing a lot better than people are giving them credit for with their stud on the mound with the day off in between. Yeah, I will be on Detroit tomorrow for sure.
And you know what? Sheed brings up a good point here. He said, it doesn't matter how well he pitches, Mariners can't hit, which I suppose
Fair.
is a point.
Fair.
Trev, you with us?
Yeah, I bet under 7.5. If I had to pick a side, it would be Detroit. But rinse and repeat. You know, I get it's going to be blowing out the winds like 7 miles an hour tomorrow, but it's still going to be 50 degrees at first pitch. It's just going to get cooler. Not to mention, you know, Seattle just has no offense. They're atrocious. They scored 3 runs today. Congrats, Detroit. You know, even going against the Dodgers here, they got the 5th lowest xFIP for their bullpen so far this season. I know it's only 3-4 games in, so it is what it is, but they still have a low xFIP here. And they played better. I think this is going to be somewhere like a 4-2, 4-1, somewhere around there. I just don't see how we get over 7.5. And if we do, so be it. But I'll back these pitchers and this broken offense from Seattle. I don't think Detroit scores more than 4 or 5 at most.
I like this comment in from Bowman. He says, you could put anybody on the mound and I will fade the Mariners 158 more times. He's already planned his next 158 fades of Seattle.
Not a bad idea.
Cleveland, San Diego. How about those San Diego Padres, man?
What's up, Atlanta? How you doing? Bums. You suck. I told you.
Oh, my God. Told you love their overwins.
Yeah. Psych. This team blows. They couldn't hit.
This is such a sad moment. It just shows you that all season when the Padres are struggling and going through it, and Toast is acting like a humble Padres fan, all it takes is to be in first place 4 games into the season for him to turn into a complete cuck.
One sweep. One sweep of the Atlanta Braves. We kicked their ass in the playoffs. We kicked their ass to start this year. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. That's how
the collapse of the Padres is going to be hilarious. We've got some really hilarious Padres haters in the group too. So the Padres collapsing and Toast getting upset, that's going to be really hilarious to follow along with this year. So, Toast, how good is this Padres team? Are they minus 135 against Cleveland good? Luis Ortiz can pitch.
I was gonna say, I don't. Again, just same reason I didn't play him today. It's just really hard to not trust the bullpen. The bullpen's fantastic. It's just they've been so overworked the last few days. Suarez had the day off today, but Jason Adam worked today, so he's 3 of the last 4. Estrada worked today, he's 3 of the last 4. So you're gonna have Suarez and Morihone, who's very, very good. But then behind him, that's where I start to have issues with San Diego. You can put up Cleveland for me, but I also don't know what their bullpen situation is off the top of my head. So I would have to take a look. But unless it's like crazy bad, I'm doing that right now.
Did they update it yet?
No, that's why.
Remember when I got
Fangraphs or?
Well, yeah,
I use Fangraphs, but they don't update it. So,
but I used to update ours manually. When we get into the crux of the season, and I have my spread. My spreadsheet that I have is really legit for baseball, but it's not functional yet. So I need another.
And
couple
you need
weeks.
data for it to make it.
Well, that's why it's not functional.
Yeah.
For those of you that have seen the spreadsheets we give out, there's nothing on them right now. It's no point in even getting that up and running. So another couple weeks. Toast fading his Friars. Trev, what do you think?
Yeah, kind of like the Indians. I mean, Kyle Hart, dude hasn't pitched in what? 2020 is popping up here. He was in Korea and shit. I get that.
Not only was he in Korea, he won the Cy Young for Korea. So it's not like he was just over there hanging out.
Okay,
just throwing that out. I'm just letting everybody know.
Point, but I still want to see him prove it in the majors again. And then the Padres just had the big Arizona or Atlanta sweep. And Atlanta can't hit. They're broken. They're a broken team right now. Cleveland, maybe their offense doesn't look as great, but they're at least putting bat to ball and getting more than 1 hit and more than 0 runs in 19 innings or whatever the hell it's been for Atlanta. So I like the Indians. I'm not going to play anything in this game. I'm gonna lay off, maybe an under, but nothing. I like too much in this one.
And I feel I just wanted to touch on that really quickly. I think that you're going to get J-Ram back tomorrow. Chances that what the reports are that he's probably going to come back tomorrow, but I was actually going to say over 8 because both these bullpens are taxed to hell. You have Clase that worked yesterday. Clase, Gaddis, Cantillo, Heron all worked yesterday, so that puts all those guys in bad spots. Not to mention the fact that Paul Sewald already back to his old self, blowing saves once already. So he's not a guy I trust. So at 8, the way that the Padres offense is cooking right now, and if we don't have Kyle Hart in there that's another thing, is that I don't know how long he's going to be in the game, so it's kind of hard for me. Let's just say he goes 4. I don't know if Schultz goes. Now we're kind of getting into the weeds, but regardless, if he goes Cruz, Peralta, or Jacob, I don't really trust that much. So, yeah, Cleveland are over 8 for me. Sorry to keep it so long.
I have no interest in this one. Because I kind of agree. I think at the price you play Cleveland, but
sooner or later the Padres bullpen will collapse in one of these games just because of the usage.
Is this
gift horse alert?
There's no way the Cubs are laying -125 on the road. They are.
Oakland sucks.
They do suck.
Yeah.
That is vehement.
So bad.
Whatever the word is, false. Very false.
The whole world is going to be on the Athletics at +110 here. So go ahead, Squares. Talk about the Athletics. I know you're both taking them. Don't leave us in suspense. Yes, you are, bro.
No.
I think you're purposely saying you're not taking them because I just called you out. Like I just
I'm
I
not.
just be-rabbited you.
No, it's that wasn't. That was Papa Doc, I think.
Yeah, but B-Rabbit, he B-Rabbited.
Oh yeah, that is B-Rabbit was his rapper name. You're right.
Yeah,
man, that's a good movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. I just don't trust Joey Estes, and I don't think that the Cubs offense is as bad as it's looked. Regardless of how they're getting their runs, they have scored a little bit, and they're not. I mean, again, it's still the Cubs. I mean, but they're not like super terrible versus. I mean, I guess they are terrible versus right-handed pitching. I'm trying to talk out my ass, but Joey Estes is just bad. I guess that's just kind of my thing. And now you have Oakland coming home from their first road trip. Definitely not a spot I like. Again, checking bullpens manually right now, but it would actually be the Cubs or pass for me. I actually don't think that Ben Brown is as bad as what he looked in his looked earlier. So again, Yeah, I actually think I do like the Cubs. I'm sorry, guys.
I was not expecting that.
I just, yeah, I do. Unfortunately, I don't know if I actually bet it.
It's a great pick.
I don't know if I actually bet it or not. And the A's didn't use anybody in their bullpen, so they're good. So that kind of puts a little dampering on it. Ugh.
I mean, I was talking shit about fake sharps taking the A's. I won't go as far to say I have the balls to take the Cubs here.
I'm not going to put them under my face or anything. I'm just,
we're
just talking here.
Trevor, before he goes, just knows he openly hates the Cubs. He's made that very clear.
No, I bet the Cubs. I bet the Cubs with you the other night when they won with the McCarthy.
How do you know when someone blindly hates a team? They cite one time where they bet them. Like, no, I bet them once.
Hey, we're only 3-4 games into the season. That's at 25%, 33%.
So are you taking them here?
Bet percentage? No. Athletics money line and over 3.5. I'm not sure which one I'll play. I'll be on one. Cubs bullpen is just taxed. Like they've used a shit ton of arms. They've been getting beat up. I know the Diamondbacks offense is a couple steps above at the Athletics, but Athletics still can hit. Rook Daddy, Soderstrom's looked pretty good. Lawrence Butler, they've got dudes, and the wind is blowing out like 11 miles an hour tomorrow. 11 and a half miles an hour at first pitch, 9 by midnight. So, I mean, it's still going to be blowing out. You're going to be getting meatballs from this entire Cubs pitching staff. Ben Brown's not good. Estes, to Toast's point, was bad on the road, very bad on the road. So do you consider this a road game, even though it's at home? But they've never pitched here. And the Coliseum had those huge sides where, foul balls, and it was deep and
this place
the night. So I haven't seen the stadium yet, so I wasn't sure.
It's big. It's big.
Beautiful.
It's supposed to play like extremely big.
Perfect. Well, then I like this even more then because Estes was really good at home, and then like I said, big park, big big foul ball area to catch all those pop ups and shit instead of going into the stands. So I like the Athletics here, the over 3.5. I know the Cubs don't have to travel far, but they still have to travel. They just gave up an 8 spot. They've got to be demoralized after having that game up 4 going into the bottom of the 8th. So I like the Athletics here. They're playing good ball. And the Cubs, I don't think are really going to do a whole lot. And their pitching staff's going to give up a shit ton of runs. So
let's go to the Athletics.
Yeah. I think I'm going to probably bet the Cubs. They're still going to have Presley, Hodge, Keller. I don't really care if Nate Pearson's good to go. Yeah, that's a hard one.
Wow, Toast with a sharp favorite play on the Cubs.
I know.
There. I didn't think he had it in him.
I don't know if I actually can do it, though.
Every single fake sharp east of the Mississippi is
I
going to be
know, and I agree with you, and that's why it kind of bothers me. But yeah, Ben.
So there's a very simple question to answer. Was the Padres series a reflection of what this Braves team is, or are the Braves about to remind us that they should never be catching plus 135?
Oh man, this is a hard one, guy. I don't believe. To answer your question, no, I don't believe that the Braves are as bad as what they showed in San Diego. They were something. I'm making this. I'm not making it up, but I don't know the exact number. But they were like 1 for 25 in runners for scoring position, or something god awful like that. I don't know if they actually had a runner in scoring position today, so they might have been like 1 for 23 total. Again, that's very bad, but I don't think that's going to continue. I don't think they're going to be 1 for 20, 1 for 23 going forward, or continuing that stuff. But I'm just not like a huge Tyler Glasnow fan. I know that he's like really, really good, but he tends to blow up at times, and an injury is always waiting for him. I will give him. I mean, it's just. I'm not trying to go to bat for Grant Holmes. I'm really not. And you can put up Dodgers 1.5 for me, but it wasn't as automatic for me as I thought it was going to be when I came into this game. So again, the Dodgers bullpen is used a lot. Obviously they had the day off today, so that's great for them. But I also think this is like a little breath of fresh air for Atlanta getting out of San Diego. Obviously it's not great having to go to LA. But again, yeah, they're gonna have a fully rested bullpen behind what's his face, Grant Holmes. Yeah, again, yeah, this is hard. It's just really hard. It's hard. It's hard because I know I can't say the world's gonna be betting the Dodgers because everybody knows that, but like I think about that and it's just like, man, like. But the question is, do I want to come off as fake sharp with the Atlanta Braves? And the
there's people in in the comments thinking about taking the Braves here. TWD for one. Hairston was saying he's thinking about taking the Braves. Isaiah Tanner says, I don't care if every single triangle on the world is on the Dodgers. I'm taking them.
Fair.
Is a triangle an even worse better than a square?
Could be. Should be.
It sounds like it.
And the Dodgers absolutely destroyed Atlanta in almost every game they played last year as well. I think they were like 5 or 6-2 or 5-2 against them.
Trev, do you think what we saw is a reflection of what the Braves team is this year, or was it just a slow start?
Currently, until they get everybody back, yeah. I know they're missing Acuna and they've got some guys back, but they look broken. Now you're going to go face Tyler Glasnow, and shout out Corby Craig. I tailed him on Glasnow Cy Young, so I got Dolo and Glasnow for Cy Young in the NL here. But yeah, I'm gonna join all the triangles. Give me Dodgers 1.5. Just they find a way. We saw it the other night. Down 2, end up winning the game by 3 runs or some shit. 2 runs. They find a way to cover all the time. And I don't care for this Braves team right now. Today was the last straw. I'm done. It's a straw that broke the back. Dodgers, and Dodgers. But Trent will be on the Dodgers. Mega nuke tomorrow. Just a heads up, but whatever.
Everybody gave me so much shit about Nick Pivetta. Look at them now.
I am going to rock with Atlanta. I don't know if I actually bet it.
Don't do it.
Plus 165 for what's supposed to be one of the best teams in the NL, based on a very small sample. In my opinion, in baseball especially, you should need at least a 2-week sample size to alter a price.
Trust me, dude. I'm right there.
No, you're not, because you have Dodgers underneath you.
I know, but I'm just saying. I really want to.
I know.
I'm just saying. I want to be there.
What's the reverse run line at?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll tell you right now.
Who knows?
Plus 265, roughly.
One sec.
Stephen A. said say it best. You got to stay off the damn weed.
Does he still say that line? He's got to come up with some new lines, man.
I don't know, but it's just an all-timer. I'll always say it.
Atlanta minus 1.5 is plus 265. I'm just trying it on. Let's see how it feels.
See how it looks. You get 273 on DraftKings.
If you do that, it's got to be, if you're betting the Braves, I would bet Ozuna and Profar too, because those are the guys that are going to kill right-handed pitching, and that can hit on the road as well.
All right, let's move on to the Crown, which is pretty much going to be Trevor talking.
No, I've already capped this all. I'm ready to roll.
Oh, you're down to bet the Crown now.
You got opt-outs and shit. I've been trying to find them, and it's kind of hit or miss on what you find.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That was a bold-faced lie.
Oh my God! Not gonna lie, you had me in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Toast for many years now, and once baseball starts, he doesn't care about much else, not even his own children.
This is true. My wife is pregnant, and she's asked, "Do I get any time?" And I said, "Well, the Padres game's on Sunday Night Baseball."
Talk to me in September.
Okay, thank you.
Trev, an avid. If you don't know what the Crown is, it's a college basketball tournament, the last one of the year. I'm told that it's a monetary prize, so it is taken seriously.
Yep. $300K to first place, $100K to second, and then I think $50 to third and fourth. This is a simple play. 2 systems are in play here. 1, Butler's playing. We fade Butler. 2, Utah flipped from dog to favorite, favorite to dog. They are going to be without Osar and somebody else.
Not Gabe Madsen, right?
No. I don't think it's Madsen. They're missing their 4 and 5. But they'll still have Tom Osar and Madsen. Lovering, thank you. But he's traveling with the team, so he may still play because there's talks he might come back anyway. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we got a flip here. Utah still got size. Butler, without all they have is Telfort and Brooks really, and that's about it. Finley Bizjack, I think, is hitting the portal. Yeah, at least he's definitely going to if he hasn't already. So I like Utah here. But probably the better bet, considering these are all neutral venues and we don't know who's going to be in or out really until like the end. Probably just bet unders. I mean, neutral venue, new sight lines. We're not sure who's going to be here, so unders are probably a better bet. But I like Utah. I already bet Utah plus 100 on the money line. You can't flip a favorite to a dog and expect me not to take it.
What the fuck kind of crazy nonsensical shit is that?
Dude, it worked. Oh yeah, Illinois looked pretty good against Kentucky the other day when they flipped. You sold me into it, and I faded my own system, and look where that got me.
Faded my own system. All right, so we're on to the next one.
Also, Butler has some size too, and they're very experienced.
Yeah, Andre Screen and shit. Yeah, I get it, but they're also a god awful team.
I mean, Telford's 6'7", Brooks is 6'6".
No, yeah, those are the two good players.
6'9".
Those are the two good players.
Next up, George Washington versus Boise. Boise is laying 8.5 here. Is that too many, Trevor?
Yeah, I like George Washington here. Their defense is really damn good. I get Boise's, more of a household name than George Washington. If anybody knows what their mascot is, I'd be impressed. The Colonials, by the way. Fun fact. But yeah, Boise, they're really good. I'll give it to them. But their defense can kind of be hit or miss. They're not great from three. They about middle of the road in fouling. But George Washington defense is elite. They force turnovers. They don't foul. They defend the three. They have size inside. They can rebound. The issue is they shoot 70% free throws versus 80% for Boise. So if this is like a 5-6 point game late and then we're getting the foul game, Boise's probably going to end up finding a way to cover. But I think this is going to be slow enough, and George Washington's got enough defense to where they'll be able to hang in this game. So I'm playing the 8.5. I'm just going half units on all of these, just because we're not 100% sure who's all in. But I like George Washington with the points here. It's going to be slow, and they got defense.
Well, the comments strongly disagree with you. Pretty much everyone's on Boise.
Everybody loves Boise. Yep.
Everyone loves Genty.
I heard Genty's sitting out this one.
Genty's not playing, guys. He plays a different sport. Nebraska, Arizona State, Sun Devils catch it 4.5, and you play blind Nebraska here, right? I mean, I don't know how this line's even close. Arizona State, the second half of the year was just done. Or did they get some of the pieces back from injury? I'm pretty sure they were injured as hell, right?
Nebraska.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Nebraska's missing guys too. They have portal guys too. Raleigh Worcester's going to be out. He's got a boot in. Braxton Mia is back. Rink Mass has been out all year. And there's another guy that's going to be out too. I believe he hit the portal. So they're going to be down some guys. This opened at 6.5. Everybody's betting Nebraska. Nebraska looks like a nice money line piece that's probably free tomorrow to pair with something. I'm picking Arizona here. This line's weird. They're going to have like 7 guys. They have no depth, but this line is.
I was going to say, don't they usually always have 7 guys?
Yeah, that's what they do. It's just what they do. Not to mention, there's money involved and you're going to tell me these Arizona State kids care less than Nebraska, the Cornhuskers. Those kids want the money more. No, I think Arizona plays for this game. I think they play hard. I don't think they do much of anything after this if they win. But Nebraska beat up, missing pieces. They haven't looked great to end the year. I know Arizona State didn't either, but this line was 6.5 all the way down to 4.5. Vegas knows something. I'll ride with Vegas, and nobody wants to bet Arizona State here, and I don't blame them. That it's absolutely disgusting. I may not even watch this game, but gotta bet it.
I was just gonna say especially now that I'm actually like kind of looking at it, like. You're getting Bobby Hurley. I mean, a team that that's going to come ready to play. And again, Arizona State was bad at the end of the year, but look at who they're losing to. Texas Tech, Houston, BYU, Utah on the road, Arizona, Texas Tech. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, can you get a little bit of a break here? And not to mention, like Trevor said, Arizona State's used to playing with a small bench. Half the guys are usually suspended, in jail. We never know what they're doing, but regardless, they're usually playing with a short bench. So that shouldn't even really bother you. So I'm playing this with you. I don't care.
There we go. And they're used to this lifestyle. I mean, Arizona State, the all-time elite, great party school, great bars. Been there before, all-time fucking awesome spot. Nebraska ain't. Now you're going to send these cornfield boys to Vegas for a weekend? Yeah, no chance. They ain't going to be ready. Arizona State out.
I'm putting Nebraska up because Arizona State sucks.
Arizona State's got athletes too.
Where were they in the second half of the year? Georgetown,
Playing in
Washington
Big
State.
12.
Playing the Big 12 schedule.
Dude, the Big Ten's better than the Big 12.
Dude, Nebraska was losing teams like Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa, Minnesota. Michigan was decent. I mean, they suck too.
The Big Ten is better than the Big 12. Facts.
Stop it.
Oh, you're right. West Virginia's a powerhouse.
Dude, West Virginia, I don't want to get it. I'm not starting on this right now.
It's too late. It's too late for this.
We're not doing this right
Actually,
now.
God damn it. Ken Palm has them rated a little bit higher. God damn it.
Yeah, Nebraska is the pick. I'm just kidding. I don't know shit.
You gonna trust a nerd on a computer? No.
Last game of the night, Georgetown against Washington State. For those you don't know, Toast family are big Cougs. They're basketball season ticket holders for Washington State.
It's
Yes,
the
they are.
opposite. It's Gonzaga basketball, Washington State football.
I swear to God, you change it every time.
No, I don't. You just never have gotten it right once.
All right, well, whatever. What do you like them here?
Getting points? Hell yeah. Cougs up.
He didn't look at this. Getting points? Yeah. He did not look at this game. I guarantee you he did not look at it.
I
Getting
did.
points?
Here, I'm not gonna lie to you.
He was legitimately asking, getting points?
Are we getting points?
Trev, I know Trev looked at it.
Yeah. I like Georgetown here. Georgetown is going to be they're in the portal, like getting players like Jalen Sellers from UCF's looking at going there. There's an LSU player and somebody else. So they've been hitting the portal, and these guys are kind of dwindling it down and deciding what schools they want to go to. I think a run here in this tournament here, where they can make money and just prove that, they're just a couple pieces away from making a run, that they'll be able to get it down. I know Sorber's out. They do tend to play faster without him. So there's that. But I don't see what Washington State is doing to deserve 3.5 points. They're getting Dane Erikstrup back. He played on March 9th, their last game. He played 9 minutes, 2 points, and those are at the free throw line, 0-2 from 3. Other than that, no Isaiah Watson, no Nate Calmes. Those are their two big scorers for them this year, and they're going to be without him. I think it's going to be trouble. I like Georgetown here, the 3.5. I like the under too. Again, I think if you bet the under in all of these, you're probably fine to at least split. But I think you probably go 3-1 or something.
You just said they play faster without Sorber, and then said under.
Yeah, but they still got to make shots though, and I'm not sure. 160 points with Georgetown and Washington State. Not to mention Washington's shout it off. Washington State's lost to Pacific twice this year. Twice they got swept.
Pacific sucks.
Very much so. So yes, I will lay the 3.5.
Losing to Pacific is rock bottom.
And you had your players that game. Erikstrup was in there, and Calmes and Watts. Now you're going to be without Watts and Calmes, and then Erikstrup came back for 9 minutes the previous game.
All right. So I'm putting up a new betting league. We're all starting at 0. Oh, I got to see who won. I know it wasn't me because I was in the championship, but I had Michigan State and Tennessee. So I know for a fact I didn't win. I think McIver might have had a shot. I'll go and look, and we'll see who won the championship. We're back to normal, and MLB is going to be in the league now. So if you're new to the group, the betting league starts every week. We do 1 week. Winner gets $150 cash and a trophy mailed to them. I'll have it up in about an hour. You have until 7. Ooh, there's day games tomorrow.
The Crown, yeah.
All right, so you're going to have to. You're going to have to submit by 2 p.m. We'll do to get in on the league. We'll have it. You could submit up to 7 p.m., but after 2 p.m., if you take a game that's already started, it's an automatic loss. That's what we'll do. So put NCAA women in the league. Nah, man, I don't have it built in. Can't do it. Everyone, hit me up in the Discord if you need me. Thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Later.